Welcome back, and this is still the Polity on KAFTAN television, and we are reaching you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. Right now, joining me in the studio is Esel to discuss some of the national matters. Julius, Esel, you're highly welcome to the studio.
Thank you. Good afternoon, listeners and viewers.
Good afternoon. How are you dealing with the Abuja rain? Because today's rain is just something that I can't even comprehend.
Thank God, it's his turn. Everything has season, so of course rain must fall for our crops to grow. So. All right. It's a blessing.
Right, exactly. Okay, viewers, a gentle reminder that our phone lines are now open for you to call in to give you your contribution or ask a question while the show goes on. Now, let me quickly ask. I did a program this morning, stay in the press. So I had a lot of callers, a lot of viewers and callers, Nigerians. I just got to realize at the point I was telling someone that I almost teared up in the while on show, because you could feel the pain.
Yeah.
You could feel the pain. You could literally feel the pain in their voices. Yeah. So where are we going? Like, where are we headed from this present government, or rather with this present government?
Well, I think the first thing we need to do as Nigerians, we need to balance ourselves. What do I mean by this? We have to discipline anything that comes our way. We have to start firm to believe that things will be fine, but then there is need for us to do extra work for ourselves, because what we believe that will be working it's not yet, it has not worked. So as an individual, you have to make yourself happy. You don't have to be thinking too much. Do the little you could do, the little that can make you happy, and always make yourself happy, because the reality of things now is actually frustrating. People are complaining, and a lot of persons have even committed suicide. In my state recently, somebody jumped from the flyover down and she died. She said she's tired of life. Now all these are results as a result of depression because of the reality of the economy. You can imagine a graduate who have graduated and strongly with POS, and inside the POS he or she is strongly with kidnappers will come, armed robbers will come. So those are the things that are even more of a threat to Nigerians, because sometimes it's okay, there is no job, okay, let's do what we are going to do. Look at farmers in my state, even Nasarawa state and some states, they have this threat of herdsmen, Fulani herdsmen, and other banditry gangs. Now, because you have to work for yourself, you have to work for your family, but then there is no security. Even when you're struggling for your own self or the survival of the fittest, insecurity is a major challenge. So it is not really safe. So that's why I say you have to balance ourselves. You have to make yourself happy and be security conscious. You understand? Yes. You don't have to be thinking, because no problem is permanent. And of course, you will agree with me that life is simultaneous. There is good, there is bad. So whatever one that comes your way, learn how to overcome it. Okay,
yes, that is just the reality of life. But what is with the current situation in Nigeria now, especially the economy precisely, it came as a shock. Now, looking at the words of Mr. President during campaign, he said he is prepared for this job. Even after getting into office, he said he said he campaigned for this job and he is fully ready. Now, what that entails is that the president gave us his word that he was fully prepared for the job, but with what has happened in the last 1 year of his administration, it's just like the popular saying that people will say this one will shock you. It's shocking everybody. With that, do you see do you think there is light at the end of the tunnel?
I think there will be light. Of course, there will definitely be light at the end of the tunnel. But the issue we are facing now is that the heat we are passing through in the course of the change, in the course of the renewed hope, is too much. That is what we are complaining about. Fuel is going to 1,000 plus. If fuel is 650 or even 5 something, when you assume of it, people okay, it's on the ground, but it's getting too much. And you agree with me that if fuel is cost, those that are selling commodities, selling products in the market, commodities, goods and services, will be cost. Now they're talking about minimum wage and all that. At the end of the day, they will increase what they are selling. So these are the things that are even coming to us that we are not seeing. You understand? So we have to have a renewed mentality that, of course, is a renewed hope, but then we too have to help ourselves. I think the major thing that is affecting us now is this rate of fuel and food and insecurity. That's the major thing. But if the federal government can look at it and at least tackle the issue of fuel and this hype of food, increment of commodities and goods and services, I think we'll be breathing little by little until we get to that end of tunnel that there is light. Because human beings are really not happy with tightened situations that are really demanding, situation that will send them to early grave, situation that will make them depressed, make them think as if there is no tomorrow. So people are already giving up in lives that it is over. They cannot do anything with this present government, that they are waiting for a fresh government to come in. But then I think every government has to pass through hard time for you to definitely arrive at a glorious stage. All right, let's quickly go on a short break, and when we return, we'll be joined by Adebayo Shittu, the former Minister of our Communication. To stay with us.
While wrapping up the day, unwind with the reminiscence of the day's news from home and abroad with KAFTAN TV 7 p.m. News.
Good to have you join us on KAFTAN News at 7.
Nigerians are living in up to 5%. Our young people raise purpose, the harmony, symphony.
It's good to have you join us on KAFTAN TV News at 7.
What we found that this turnaround has sufficient.
National, foreign news headlines. Get balanced, accurate facts on the latest news in business, politics, entertainment, sports, and more. Live_TV.
Welcome back, and this is still the Polity on KAFTAN Television, and we are reaching you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. Now, Adebayo, the former Minister of Communication, joins me in the studio this afternoon. And a gentle reminder that our phone lines are open for you to call in to give in your contribution. You're highly welcome.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Let me start by saying congratulations on your new appointment.
Thank you.
Now, let's get straight to it because we're actually out of time. When members and leaders of your party, you're loyalists of the APC, right? Now, when members of your party say don't blame the economy, don't blame Tinubu for the economic crisis, do you agree with that opinion?
Well, of course, I will I will agree with you. If you have a house recently built, or which has been standing, and a new occupant comes in, and the house breaks down, do you blame the new occupant? Yeah. You don't blame the new occupant.
But Mr. President said, I campaigned for this job. In his words, and I quote, he said,
but we know
he campaigned for the job. That means
he could never have imagined the extent of rot in the system.
He was a former governor of Lagos State
18 years ago. And
I believe he understands how
he cannot. Lagos State is different from the whole of Nigeria. Lagos is just one out of 36 states of Nigeria.
So you're saying Mr. President is not responsible for the
He cannot be held responsible. I've given you a very good analogy.
But going by his word,
he's the latest tenant in the house called Nigeria. And we know I've been in government before, some 8-9 years ago. Or between 6, 7, 8, 9 years ago. And I know that we have had problems. Even at that time, we inherited a lot of problems. The economy has been in a very chaotic. There has been corruption. So many other things were wrong. And also, there have been fundamentals. Nobody coming in anew could ever have imagined the extent of rot in the system. For instance, was Tinubu the one responsible for the fact that in the last 9 years we intended to have our refineries revived and the past government could not revive it then? I mean, would that be Tinubu's fault? The refineries have been in a state of comatose for more than 10, 12 years.
Yeah. But what I'm saying, if I come to your office seeking for an appointment and I present my CV to you, and I already know I'm a mass communications, I understand the nature of the job, and why I am bringing my CV to you, my credentials to you, is because I know that I can deliver when you employ me. And not just that, he said that of course he knew that the system perhaps probably must have have one or two backslides, and what he said that he is ready for the job.
Yes, he said, of course he's ready for the job. He was confident that, having regard to his level of intelligence, his level of exposure, his level of dynamism, that whatever challenge came his way, he was prepared to face it. Even when dollar rose from 750 naira to 1,500. Was it Tinubu's fault that we as a nation have been a nation of consumers, not of producers, over the years? Our problem with foreign exchange is the fact that we are mere importers and perpetual importers, not of producers. If you don't produce anything fit to be sold overseas, how would the dollar come? We are not. But
remember that it was 750 naira before he came into power, and as of today, so dollar is his fault? 1,500.
Let me tell you what he did, which a lot of people may consider wrong, is the fact that he decided to remove subsidy. And should one be living perpetually on subsidy as a nation? I mean, should you not be able to sustain yourself? If you are doing some business, you perpetually live on subsidy. Subsidy means you will be, taking loans to sustain yourself. Yeah. Over the years. So if you are sustaining yourself over the years, at a point in time you will crash, God forbid. Because if you are not be able to, or able or capable of paying your loans over time, your creditors will not continue to give you loans. That's it. When it gets to say that you cannot pay, you are continuously, relying on, handouts and so on. Yeah. So what he did, but he did that because he felt that Nigeria cannot continue to be postponing the evil day. That is the day that things will crash completely. So he said boldly, look, we have got to a stage where we cannot continue to be taking loans to sustain our consumption. And within the time he came, and the effort he's putting into getting the refineries. So
are you saying, in other words, are you saying that no loan has been acquired under Mr. President's
loans are acquired for specific project, not for subsidy. That's the difference. He's taking loans to do Lagos Calabar road. He's taking loans to build Badagry Sokoto road. These are productive enterprises.
But that still doesn't stop the fact that, so that still doesn't take away the fact that we are still borrowing, even after the removal of
as individuals. Don't you get to say you have to borrow if you have projects that you have to undertake? There's hardly any businessman in this country who does not borrow. But what is important, the critical thing is not the fact that you are borrowing, but your capacity to pay back what you borrow. And you are able to pay if you are productive. In the case of subsidy, there's nothing coming back to you. You are taking loans to subsidize your consumption, not productivity, not production. So the problem is, when you hear that governments take loans, what you should be asking is, what are those loans being used for? Are they for productive enterprises? If they are, you'll be happy that something will be coming back to you. But if it is merely for consumption by way of subsidizing. Look, today, Nigeria is an oil producing country. We produce crude oil. When you produce the crude oil, you don't have to refine it here. So you have to pay for transportation to overseas countries. You have to pay for refining there, and you have to pay also to bring back the refined product back. There's no how the cost would not, go. So it is either you are able to sustain yourself, through, subsidizing and taking loans to subsidize, or you can sell at a level that you don't need to take loans. What you sell, what comes in, is enough to pay back whatever are the costs.
Now, as a leader, should you just go ahead and take decisions, not minding how the weight of the decisions you're taking on your citizens who voted you in you know, to serve them, protect lives and properties, security, education, otherwise.
So
do you just go ahead and take decisions and not mind it?
Or their wisdom say desperate diseases are by desperate means cured. We were on the verge of collapse. This man comes, he says, look, I have the mandate of the people to act on their behalf. And so there are certain decisions that, you know, one takes. Even as individuals, if you're head of a family, there are certain decisions you take. It's not all the time that you have all the time to call all members of the family together. If you have a house burning, do you take decisions? Do you consult to say whether we should put off this fire or not? You don't. You take, because of the desperate situation you are in, you take desperate decisions. People may abuse you at the initial stage, but at the end of the day, they will discover that.
And now to the expense of the life of the people you are ruling, or the people who voted you in.
Look, when you have a new baby, and for you Yorubas who make marks, the Yorubas have advantage. Titari rola akola. Tuba jinatan arireketeleke. To have tribal marks, it takes pain. But when it is healed, the man looks beautiful.
Yeah.
Look at the women who are in labor. The pain of labor is very excruciating. I don't know whether you have experienced it before. But you know, at the end of the day, what comes out of it is a thing of joy.
Yeah.
All right, let me have this one question, because I can see you're out of time. Looking at the current administration, the way your party runs the affair of this country, are you confident that APC will retain power come 2027?
Because you see, fortunately, all this that has happened, I believe the worst is over. We still have another 2 years. It is work in progress, and we are confident that we are on steady path to progress.
All right, we'll have to bring you back to analyze
No
more on this, because our time is fast spent, and you are rushing somewhere. But let me quickly say thank you for coming, and until we see you next week, thank you very much, Adebayo Shittu, for coming. Let's quickly go on a short break. We'll be right back soon.
I hope you pronounce Adebayo Shittu.
Yes, I did. Okay. I did.
Thank you so much.
KAFTAN TV. Imagine a beautiful world. In a world where information is vital to every individual, a platform where technology is a medium to pass information, you can always catch up on all information written in the newspapers, even without having one. Join us on The Press.
Reaching you live from the Abuja studios.
On The Punch for this morning. The Blueprint newspaper, Nigerian Tribune this morning.
As we give you information and opinions about current events and topical issues on politics, business, sports, entertainment, weather forecasts, and lots more in the local city, across all states, and across all countries. Showing daily on Startimes.
Oh, welcome back. You're still on the Policy on KAFTAN Television, reaching you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. Okay, Estelle, let me quickly, did you believe what Adebayo Shittu just said a while ago?
Yeah, I think to some extent I saw the need for me to agree with him, because
what was the need you saw exactly to agree with him? Because like I asked him, I said, Mr. President said he was fully ready for this job. He is ready for this job. But with what we are seeing that is playing out with Nigerian economy today, it looks as if they lied to us, or maybe they are fully not prepared. Perhaps they are fully not prepared. So to what extent did you agree with him?
Well, I think I have to be very precise here, because number one, when you are trying to make changes, you undergo certain challenges. You understand? It's not going to be a smooth change. You are going to undergo certain difficulties before you get there.
Let me get something. Yeah. Let me get something right here. He made reference as a pregnant woman during the pain of child labor. As a pregnant woman, in the course of during pregnancy and in the course of pregnancy, you know that you are supposed to go for antenatal, proper checkup, and the rest of it.
Right.
You go for antenatal, you are being checked, and the rest of it. Shouldn't it have been applied to Nigerian system? You know, not one step at a time. Conduct analysis that are supposed to work, or that would work, instead of just coming in and everywhere. And you're telling us it will be well, it will be well, it will be well when exactly?
Well, like I said earlier, no human being wants to suffer or wants to undergo pains or frustration or being in a state of depression or state of dilemma. You understand? But then there is need for us, like I said earlier, there is need for us to have a rethink of ourselves and work on ourselves. Despite the fact that things are not really singing well for us, the situation is demanding, it's frustrating, it's not something that it's not appreciating. Then there is need for us to also have a review of ourselves. Now, you talked about the issue of dollars and all that. Now, I will bet it to you that if you go to banks, there are some banks you will go to where you need maybe ₦1 million as a trader. They won't give it to you. If you don't have any connection in the bank, they won't give it to you. But go to other country, they give it out because it is your money. In Nigeria, they send meat. They say this cash, this new meat in naira.
They won't give it to you. You mean cash or?
Yes, if you need ₦1 million cash, they won't give, except you are connected with any of the bankers. That is, they won't give it to ordinary customer. So those are the things that.
Oh, we lost that caller.
So those are some of the things that are affecting us. Now let's talk about the issue of the rising of naira and all that. Now look at recently they said, okay, people should not be spraying money and all that. Some people are already going to dollars. Some people are already going to dollars. Okay, naira, they said they should not use, they should not be spraying naira, should not be abuse naira. If somebody is doing a party or a marriage ceremony, you drop the money in the bus. That is not abuse of naira.
Let's quickly hear from this caller before. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Thank you so much for calling KAFTAN TV. Where are you calling us from?
This is Ryan from Abuja.
All right, please go ahead.
I don't want to say I'm disappointed in exam for saying that he concurred with what the former minister just said. For crying out loud, this is a former minister of communication. In fact, I cannot point to one thing as the minister of communication how he helped to distribute him right information during his time. I called earlier to give him just 2 or 3 questions, but I don't know what happened. He was asked a question: why is the dollar the way it is? What I expect him to tell us is that there is production of so and so that we are not doing that we ought to do. Throughout his time of these interviews, and he just wasted time, he did not propound a single solution. Every question thrown to him, he used question to bounce back. Why is this like this? He will now ask you, why is it not supposed to be like this? I mean, this is 21st century. If you don't have money to buy car 20 years ago, and you now have money to buy car now, do you have to go and buy car that was produced 20 years ago? Won't you buy the car that is produced now, since you now have the money? Why do we always like making reference to people that fail and we don't want to move forward? There is problem and Tinubu does not have the solution. Let's tell him the truth. So he failed. It is simple. He has been watching the driver of Nigeria and he believes that the driver was not driving well. He said he has been prepared for it. He now wants to come and drive us, and the only way he can drive us is to pull us down the mall, and somebody is in the studio giving him excuses that we have to suffer. Must we suffer? If you have solution to diabetes, go straight and treat diabetes. Don't make the patient suffer more before you treat the diabetes. Thank you.
All right, thank you for calling, and do have a great afternoon. So you heard what our caller just said.
Yeah.
So what do you have
I
to
thought
say?
it was not really audible, so I couldn't get what I think. But I got some stuff. He talked about the reason why the dollar is not what I was trying to say. But then I was really arriving at a point. Okay. You understand? Yes. You know, when things comes like the people have their own opinion, to opine. You understand their own perspective. You understand that's matters for you. But then, like what I'm saying, even the naira that we have is not circulating. We are not seeing the naira. You understand? So it's a major problem. It's a setback. Then another thing again, what we buy outside, the exchange rate of dollar. How do we not patronize our own currency? That is a major problem. That's a major problem. Sometimes you see things that you just, these are the things that are affecting us. We don't know, among others. Then another thing again that we also look at, we ourselves are doing ourselves. Sometimes when this issue of a high cost of things comes up, if it is within the range of an instance is 500 naira, some person will be selling 600 naira. There will be a price control agency that will be regulating this price control. But this product, they will go to those places and they will take bribe. Is it the president that said them? No, it was a part of the New Hope. Now you go and monitor, supervise these people and caution them of what they are doing.
Even if that happens, someone called this morning during my morning show and was saying, do these people listening to us, both the federal government and the state government, do they at least pay attention? So if let's just assume the body or assigned to check the prices of
goods and services.
But every day people glamour, even apart from media houses, on social media, people pour out their heart, people pour out their pain, their plight. Are you trying to say that the president, the federal government aren't adhering to all that, or they don't hear or they don't see it? Is that what you're saying?
They hear what's happening. I'm not supporting the federal government. What we're experiencing is something that we should clap for them, or that is good, is welcoming. No,
you just said you're just making reference of why the dollar is 1,700.
That is to tell you
750 naira as at last year.
Yeah, it's not a good thing that the dollar is rising. As a Nigeria, I'm not going to be happy that the dollar is rising from 750 when he has in office. But then, if his assumption in office is as a result of the dollar, then the man is saying that you give him little time for him to go. Rising of dollar of currency is
how much more time?
No, ordinarily, other normalcy, rising of currency in is normal in every country. But this one is too much. That's the problem.
Did you see the percentage at which
that is the complaint. The rising of dollar is bad. Every currency is bad to depreciate or rise, appreciate or depreciate in every country.
Why is that of Nigeria always depreciating and not appreciating?
But there was a time the dollar came down before it went up. But the dollar is not even actually our problem. Our major problem now, if you agree with me, is security.
Yes, we have a lot of problems. We are addressing this
a telling situation on us. The security aspect of this country, part of this country, is telling on us. Then we dance to goods and services price of fear and the products. Now, why do I focus on this? These are what we consume daily.
I think we have another caller. Okay. Let's quickly hear from this caller and. Good afternoon. All right.
I want him to tell us what did he think, because from the way he's talking, I can assume that it is compared to Jonathan's administration to Tinubu administration. Fine, because they tell us that Tinubu is better.
All right, thank you very much.
Okay, I think I have to respond to. First of all, I will appreciate you for that.
We are out
Okay,
of time.
first of all, I will appreciate you for that question. Very productive question. Now, you compare Jonathan's time and Buhari time. They are not the same. There is a between Jonathan's time, Buhari time, and Tinubu's time. I'm not an APC member or not PDP member, but I'm just being objective. Now, the time of Jonathan, the dollar was around 450, 500, just like that. But it has not got it to 1,800. You understand? Now, there are measure for this currency. When they said why is it that things are now up? Why is it that things are now why is it up in time of Jonathan? Why is it that commodities are going to services are cost in the time of Tinubu? Now, number one, the day they said fuel subsidy is removed, that very day where I stay, somebody there that was selling Indomie for 3.5, he said Indomie is 5,000. The Tinubu said you go and buy Indomie that you bought 3 months ago, 4 months ago for 5,000. No, those are the things we are supposed to be considering. We are doing ourselves. Yes, the government are not trying, but then to some extent we are extorting money. We are extorting ourselves. Fear that was supposed to be sold for, if it is 7, that was supposed to say 1,015. Some people is selling 2,000 naira. There was a time they sold cement for almost 12,000, 13,000, 15,000.
We have a
and you bought the cement months ago.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Glad to have you join us. Please go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Ala. I'm calling from Lagos, Kenya.
All right, please go ahead.
So I just want to, contribute to this topic. Talking about, and I want to say clearly that you see the problem of the economic problem of this government started when the president came in the first day and was able to say subsidy is removed. If subsidy is removed, there must be managers to manage that removal of subsidy.
Okay.
I went to Kenya or President from Kenya, I went to KAFTAN. And I looked at the way government manage the resources they have at hand. You said subsidy is removed, and the manager, the minister of finance, those that will manage the monetary and fiscal policy, they are not on ground. So many things were just going bizarre, and again, Naira was floated. There is no country that, as it was going to what Nigeria was going to that time, and such policy will take place, and there is nobody to manage it, that you will not have this kind of issue. Now, you said something is removed. The question is that, just like the debt said, you told us that the people that are taking subsidy, they are few set of people, and they are the one, imposing problem on us.
Okay.
They are the one creating economic problem and putting problem into this serious economic quagmire and poverty. Now, you said you are going to take the subsidy away from them, and you give it back to me, Nigeria that are suffering. Now, by the time you are taking this, by the time those few people are taking the subsidy, I was buying fuel 184 naira. Now you took the subsidy from the state, you want to take the money from Nigeria back to me. Now I'm buying for 700 naira. Everything was 450. By the time these few people you say that you claim they were enjoying the subsidy that you are suffering, I think it was 450. Naira to dollar, what is it? By now you have taken the money, so you are just bringing it back to us, so much that I can enjoy. The exchange rate as today, inflow is 1,520, cash is 1,500. And I can continue to mention, which means that the gain of subsidy are there. The government has decided to use it to give it to 90 billion ads. Who does that in any country? That your people are suffering and you are putting 90 billion into ads. The moment you put 90 billion into ads, you are taking 90 billion from the Nigerian economy, you are giving to Saudi Arabia to develop. Now, can we come with their own again? You will give them 100 billion. You will take 100 billion from the Nigerian economy to develop the Jerusalem. You will do all those, and the moment you do all those things, you are building 21 billion worth of house for the vice president in an economy that is not balanced.
All right.
You are back of 15 trillion. Lagos coastal. Calabar anyway, and so many other 150 million SUV for the National Assembly, and so many other things that have, and and Nigeria are suffering. So governments are fond of telling Nigerians there's no money.
All right.
The government has gone on wasting resources that are gained from the subsidy. You get fat to governor. You are telling Nigeria that Nigeria should go back to governor. How can I get my children's school fees to my wife? And they send the children away from school because my wife has not paid. And I will not ask the children to go to my wife. And I will ask my wife that I gave the money to. What did you use the money to?
Exactly.
So president has given fat to governor should not be sending the Nigerians to governor. Should ask the governor, what did you use the fat that I gave it to? And let that the suffering is not, people are hungry, people are crying, and then people they are living life. You can still do whatever they say because that's the money in the pocket, and if I say I'm happy with whatever they say, all of them are just saying things that Nigeria are suffering until they come to the point of Kenya. Kenya was in Kenya, they took over the parliament.
All right, please round up. You have 2 seconds.
So that is not it. Until Nigeria sky that, nothing will happen. Nigeria is not to be blamed. Government should be blamed.
Thank you very much. Well, thank you so much, Julius, yourself, for coming. Our time is fast spent. Would have debated more on this, but sadly we are out of time. And this is where we draw the curtain for today's episode on the polity. And like we always tell you, keep watching KAFTAN television, because trust me, we have amazing analysis and in-depth economic, socio-political programs to give you that would enlighten your mood. And until I come your way some other time, don't forget to follow us on all our social media handles on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and of course on Facebook. I am Messi Emelite. Do have a lovely weekend.